I'd never watched The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, so when I saw it on BBC iPlayer, I thought, yeah, I'll give it a go. I'll sling it on. Anyway, so in about a month, I watched it all, because, 5 years. And you know what? I loved it. It is fucking brilliant. What a show. What a show. And you know what? I thought it was so good that I'll make a top 11 video on the best moments of The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. And also because the reunion show happened recently, so lots of geezers are talking about it, so I thought, you know what, yeah, fuck it, jump on the bandwagon. Anyway, number 11, when Jeffrey is pissed. If you ever want to make a scene better, add Jeffrey. He is consistently quality, and his wisecracks consistently put a scene over the top. Since the first episode, he's always seemed annoyed by the ingratitude of the Banks family. However, as the show goes on, he seems to get more and more sad with his job, to the point that it makes me sad to see him this way. So that's why I love the Christmas episode, where Jeffrey gets drunk and we get to see him in a good mood. And it's absolutely hilarious as he gets more and more drunk throughout the show, and he ends up taking one of the best bumps that I've ever seen. It ranks up there with the likes of the Flair bump or the David Jason bump. And it's amazing. If you ever want to be cheered up, just watch that scene, or watch a meme of it, or whatever will appeal to your short fucking attention spans. 2 hours is too long for a podcast. Number 10, Uncle Phil revealing Lucille. James Avery is such a great actor. I mean, he can play the strict, scary, authoritarian one moment and then be loving and vulnerable the next, while not betraying the character of Uncle Phil at all. In episode 22 of the first series, Phil tries to win back his car from a hustler called Charlie in a pool hall. And you're sucked into thinking, he's getting hustled here, he's going to get done. And you feel sorry for Uncle Phil, who's getting humiliated in public. Then, when the hustler Charlie raises the stakes, thinking he's got a mark that he can take advantage of, we see Uncle Phil's expression change. And he says to Jeffrey, "Hand me Lucille." And Jeffrey does what I've been waiting for him to do since I started watching the show. He gets out his pole. If I was. Uncle Phil then wipes the floor with Charlie, as Soul Man by Sam and Dave plays. Sam and Dave, of course, the second greatest group, with and Dave in the title. Number 9, the Carlton Dance. I mean, what can you say? It's the Carlton Dance. It just, it's just brilliant. It's the Carlton Dance. It makes you smile, and it's great. I mean, the reason I've put it so low is because he does it so many times throughout the show, and they're all great. It's hard to pick one. But if I had to pick one, I'd have to pick the one where he's in the living room and he checks to see there's no one around, and he can really just, let himself go. And I've got to say, that's a lot better than what I do when I'm alone in the living room and there's no one around. Number 8. Carlton's MJ strip routine. In the episode A Striptease for Two, Carlton gives Will a good trading tip. Fuck, that's what I forgot to do. Fuck. Anyway, back in series 1, Carlton gives Will a good trading tip, and in order to get the money to invest, they pawn Aunt Viv's bracelet. So the investment doesn't turn out well, and they need to get the money to buy the bracelet back. This leads to Will doing a strip routine. However, he gets too nervous and Carlton has to dance instead. It's great to see Carlton gaining more confidence, and as he first discovers that there's probably a market in people seeing his ass as he shakes it nervously, and then ends up doing a full strip routine to Billie Jean. And naturally, the crowd goes wild because, he's an amazing dancer, and also, piece of ass, if I was, And it's good to see that even Will Smith is marking out at the side of the stage. Great scene. Number 7. Uncle Phil and Aunt Viv come to the police station. Ever since the first episode of the show, The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air has set itself out as being a show that's socially conscious and deals with the serious issues and the episode Mistaken Identity is perhaps the best example of this. In one of the most powerful and poignant episodes of the show, Will Smith and Carlton get pulled over and then arrested for charges motivated by racial profiling. This provokes Aunt Viv and Uncle Phil to verbally unload on the police officers who detain them. The shift in Uncle Phil's tone as he batters them with his legal knowledge and exposes their legal incompetence draws an incredible pop from the audience that makes you want to pause BBC iPlayer and just stand up, and give him a standing ovation. Also, the geezer from Friends is in the scene as well. So yeah, that's nice. Number 6. Isaac Hayes as the minister at Will Smith's wedding. I probably won't get married, 5 years. But if I did somehow, I want to get married in a Shaft-style wedding like they did in The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. When the Shaft-style room is revealed, the pyrotechnics go off and the smoke reveals Isaac Hayes, the geezer who wrote the Shaft soundtrack. I lost it. In a show that's had cameos from Mr. Miyagi, B.B. King, among loads of other geezers, this is perhaps the best cameo of them all. It's established how significant it is to Will Smith, as he stated how Shaft was one of his idols growing up. And the song, the Shaft soundtrack, fits in so well with the scene, as Smith acts as a perfect replacement for Shaft. I marked out exactly like Will and Lisa did. It was absolutely unreal. It's a shame this wasn't the episode that Richard Roundtree was in, because that would have been also been incredible. And Will and Lisa, they turn out not to like the ceremony after all and don't get married. So you could say, by booking this package, they got shafted. Number 5. The Apache Dance. I mean, again, what can you say? It's the Apache Dance. It's phenomenal. And it's another one of those moments where the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air has really gone on to permeate pop culture. As many times I've busted this out on the dance floor while everyone I was with has distanced themselves and said that they don't know me. I in many ways pioneered social distancing. But yeah, one of the best moments from the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. The original moment they did it is incredible, but I think I've got to go for the episode where they showed the behind the scenes footage and Will Smith on a tour of the set and the outtakes. I think the Apache Dance in this episode is the best, as you see in the cast all together in Will Smith's dressing room having a great time, and just seeing Will, Carlton, or I should say the actors who play Will and Carlton, Alfonso Ribeira and Will Smith, dancing with the actor who plays Nicky. It just makes you smile. Just a great scene. Seeing James Avery as well, enjoying himself. It's just great. It's fantastic. And yeah, and it's nice, nice to see the production crew, getting some love, getting some screen time as well. Yeah. Number 4. Carlton stands up for himself. I love this scene so much because when it happens, you're not expecting it, but it fits the Carlton character so well. Ever since we're introduced to Will, he's established as the cool one, who's always successful with the ladies and always successful in social situations, and Carlton, he's established as the awkward one. And this scene flips this on its head. When Will wants to pawn Jazz's sister Janet on Carlton because, she was GBHing his ear off, he, Janet, Carlton and Jazz go to dinner together. During the dinner, Janet speaks rudely to the waitress and Carlton calls her out. And you expect Carlton to get chewed out, but he stands his ground and calmly tells her to improve her manners, and in the process gains Janet's respect. And I tell you, if someone is giving you lip and you feel you're in the right, and they're not a physical threat, by the way, that's important, then try this method out. Don't get angry, don't swear, just calmly say, I don't like how you're treating me, improve your manners. And you know what? Sometimes it works. Yeah, again, as I say, unless they can actually beat you up, because that can also happen as well. So, but yeah, try it out, yeah. Number 3. Carlton running all through the set. The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air breaks the fourth wall a lot during the show, However, they kick down the fourth wall at the end of the episode Will's Misery. At the end of the episode, Will lets Carlton think that by conspiring with Lisa to prank Will, he's led to Will killing her. This then makes Carlton have a breakdown, as he runs out of the kitchen screaming as Will looks towards the audience and says, "Got you." However, Carlton keeps running as he runs through the living room, then he runs into the kitchen again and then slides on his hands and knees through the kitchen, then runs through the studio audience, then runs through the college campus set and hugs Will at the end of the episode. What a scene. Number 2. The final episode. You can really chart the progression of Will Smith's acting career by watching this show. So therefore, it's so fitting that the final speech in this show is to be between Will and the character and the actor who served as his mentor, James Avery. Of course, who's playing Uncle Phil. The guy who helped him deliver probably the best scene of his career shares the stage with Will as Will expresses how he wants to be a family member and not just go back to being a relative. And Uncle Phil expresses how he considers Will to be like his son. It's beautiful. And we also see a fitting goodbye to perhaps the best comedic duo on the show, as Jeffrey is finally finished being the Banks family's employee, but offers to carry Hillary's bags because he wants to. And then we see Jeffrey finally call Will by his name, Will, and not Master William. Which could be a callback to their first ever interaction on the show in the first episode, where Will arrives and he asks Jeffrey to just call him Will. And then we get a moment that shows how great the comedy writing is on this show by combining a sad moment with a funny moment without damaging the seriousness of what's happening at all. As when the living room is completely empty and everyone is left, Will Smith turns out the lights and Carlton comes off the bog wondering where everyone went. Absolutely incredible. And take notes, Gervais. Stop making everyone depressed for 5 minutes and then, tacking a joke on the end and calling yourself a fucking genius. No, this right here is good comedy writing. Number 1. Will Smith and his speech about his father. Will Smith is a great actor. I've always thought he was great. The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air was one of the first acting jobs Will ever had. And I think ever since the first episode, he was incredible. But what really put him on the map as a great actor was this scene. Towards the end of season 4, in the episode Papa's Got a Brand New Excuse, Will Smith's old man turns up in his life after 14 years. Throughout the episode, he warms up to him, and it seems like, they're going to make up for lost time. And his old man asks him to join him on a trip. And then we get an incredible scene in the episode where Will Smith tells Uncle Phil that he's not his father. And that's absolutely incredible. And you're thinking, that's the big scene of the episode. Then at the end of the episode, Will Smith's father makes an excuse why he has to cancel the trip. And we get this incredible scene. You can see Will Smith's front drop slowly, as at first he tries to play this off as a good thing, tries to seem cool in the face of adversity, like he's done so many other times in the series. Then his anger gets the best of him, as he shouts to hell with him. Uncle Phil is taken aback, and the man who always knows the exact right thing to say at the right moment is speechless, as he tries to hold back tears, the emotion pouring out of his performance without even saying anything. Will then continues, and at the end of this monologue, he stands there exhausted and asks the question, how come he doesn't want me? Which is something that I ask every time I leave the club alone or try to talk to a woman and she rejects me. But this is a bit more serious here. And Will, he's unable to hold back the tears and cowers down, and Uncle Phil hugs him, knocking off his hat, which may be a symbol of Will's brave front that he shows to the world when inside he might not be feeling as confident as he seems. The camera then zooms into the sculpture of someone hugging a kid, which is a perfect way to end the episode. And it's also, good product placement for whoever made the sculpture. Yeah, it seems pretty good, that sculpture. Will Smith has been in some of the greatest films of all time, and it speaks to how good this scene is, that when you type in YouTube Will Smith scene, this is the first thing that comes up. And hopefully after this comes up, then this video will be the second thing that comes up. So for that to happen, please like, subscribe and share this video and all of Geese Nation's videos, as much as possible. Anyway, thank you.